Hi there. In this video, we will be discussing the fundamentals of machine learning. So, the first question that comes in our mind is why machine learning? So, basically, machine learning is designed so that our computers, our models can deal with the unseen data like previously or in ancient programming we used to write bunch of if else statements, but now using machine learning we don't have to write much scenarios. Our model can deal with the new and unseen data that we and our model hasn't seen in previous training or something like that. How machines learn. Now, machines are basically inspired by kids as they learn from their parents and their surrounding and their siblings, basically from their environment. Our machines learn from the data that we provide to the machine. Any data that we provide to machine finds some hidden patterns and it will learn something from that data. I have gave some examples in the previous lectures that our machine was learning like orange fruit as a cat due to less data. So it can find many patterns. You provide data, you provide images, for example images of your face. It can detect that there are two eyes and one nose and one face, so this person is you. So that's a meme face, but our machine can learn something like that. I hope you got the idea that it learn from the data that we provide to it. Now, there are two types of machine learning, that are supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. As the name says, supervised machine learning is supervised by something. And what is that thing? That are the labels of our data. I will discuss that in a bit. Unsupervised machine learning is not supervised by a labeled data. Now let's look at some example. I have one famous example of supervised machine learning, and that is spam email detection. Now, in the spam email detection, let's say I have trained a model which input a email and it can detect some of the features such as word frequency, any link, and it can check if there are specific words used in the email, so it will detect that email as spam. Okay, that's a spam email. Otherwise, if it like failed to detect those patterns, those links, those words, and those repetitions, then it will say that it is not a spam. Now, for training, I will have to provide this data to my machine. Like I will have a mail and I will say that it is not spam. Another mail, it is spam. Another mail, it is not spam. And other mail, it is spam. So this is the data that I am providing my machine and it will learn from this data. Now, the labels. What are the labels in this case? Labels are this cross and this ticks. Like it is not spam, it is spam. It is not spam, it is spam. So these are the labels that I am providing. That the my model will predict. My model will predict one of this label in any incoming email. So our labels are the objects that our model is going to predict. Data is already labeled in this type of machine learning. There are only two outputs. It can be spam or it cannot be a spam. These two are the possible labels for our this example of supervised machine learning. Now, discussing the unsupervised machine learning in which we don't have the labeled data. What does that mean? Let's look at this example, which is feedback segmentation. Now let's say I am provided with a feedback of a restaurant or something like this, and these are the feedbacks. and there is no label. We don't know about which topic this feedback is and about which topic this feedback or is this feedback negative or is this feedback positive. We don't have any such data. So in that case, our model will find hidden patterns among all the emails and it will separate out the emails. Let's say it will make three categories: this category, and this category. It can find any pattern which is which is visible in the data more easily. Now, for my case, I have created these three categories. Now, what in these categories? Let's say our model has find a category in which there are only positive feedbacks. There are positive feedbacks. They may contain word good, excellent food, or excellent delivery, very nice, or something like that. So these are in the category of positive. Another here category that can be negative, and they may have words like worst or not recommended or something like that our model have learned from and recognized in each the email. And here is the third category. Let's say this category, they have the feedbacks about pizza. So each feedback about pizza is in this category, and each feedback containing any negativity is in this category, and each positive feedback is in this category. So positive here, negative here, and about pizza here. So now we have three categories. And let's say we were provided with 20K feedbacks, and this is a normal data set. Normally we have data set in millions, so this is a small data set, and within that data set we may find 40 to 50 categories, and in which they may have like abusive feedbacks, positive, negative, neutral, about delivery or about burgers. And hence we will have different categories and we will have our feedback in different folders. Now we know each feedback, and to that model, let's say our customer comes to our restaurant. This is the customer, and he says that the food was very good. Now I am not using any human to classify this feedback. I am using my model. So it will say, okay, this is the positive one, so this will go in this category, and so on. This is how the unsupervised machine learning looks like. And the other major aspect is that we don't know the number of outputs in this. Like we don't know how many categories our model will make. And it can make many categories like positive feedback, negative feedback, abusive feedback, etc., as we have discussed.